I don't know what you're going through. Honestly, I don't know what you're going through. And I don't know for how long you have been going through that. And I don't know what's that one prayer that one day you prayed to God. Let me tell you guys, there is no one who tells you that trusting in God is not something so easy. I don't know how that is coming out from my mouth, but there is no one who ever taught me that. I was born and raised from a very, very, very staunch Christian family. And that basically means that every single Sunday it was a church day and there was no debate about it. And even if maybe I don't remember as a kid, I know that once I was born, the first time I was taken to church, I was dedicated as a Christian baby. And even if I don't remember, I believe that happened to me. And I think there is something that normally happens. And as much as we want to withdraw from that, it's like it's something that will never leave you. I don't know if there is someone out there who can relate with me that if you are born and raised from a very staunch Christian family, where you know that each and every Sunday is supposed to be a church day, there is supposed to be kina ushirika, you normally call them ushirika, or maybe akina jumuia, go to Sunday camps and youth camps. Like, if you are that kind of a person, I know that you can relate with me. There is something that really never leaves you, even when you grow up. And I think that's why there is a proverb that says that teach your child the way he should go, and when they grow up, they will never get away from it. And for once, I agree with that because as for me, I feel like I've really done so many things that maybe I'm not proud of, and but each and every time, no matter how much I try to run away from God, no matter how much I try to to be someone who is not concerned about anything to do with God, like something just happens and I just find myself back to the church. Like, I really don't know if there is someone out there who can relate with that. And that's why I feel like when they say that teach your child the way they should go, and when they grow up they will never divert from it, I know it's true. And guys, as I have told you that I was brought up in a very staunch Christian family, whereby we used to know that each and everything, when you are just faced with literally anything, the first thing you should do is pray about it. Like, that has been my life ever since I was a small baby. Like, I was taught how to pray for myself even before I I joined school. Before I went to school, I already know that before I take each and every meal, I'm supposed to pray. Before I sleep, I'm supposed to pray. Before I wake up in the morning, I get out from my bed, I'm supposed to pray. When I go to visit people before I leave them that I am supposed to pray. And that's something that, as much as sometimes I don't apply it, it still stick to me that it's like I'm doing something wrong. I don't know if you can get me. Like, I already know that on Sunday I'm supposed to go to church. So each and every Sunday that I choose to do something different, maybe go partying, maybe go see a friend, maybe go just just do anything else, there is something in me that whispers and tells me that, you know what, Joyce, you are doing something wrong. And despite the fact that maybe I will not maybe listen to that voice, still when I'm just left alone, I will still feel like, you know what, I think you are supposed to go back to your track, like you are supposed to go back to your steps. Like, I don't know if you can relate to that. That has been me. That each and every time from when I was a kid, I used to see my parents that they are still are very so prayerful, like up to date, and I really thank God for that. They are still a very so prayerful, and I think not I think that's something that they impacted into us, that each and every time, like, you are supposed to be prayerful. Each and every time you're supposed to be prayerful, no matter what you're facing in life, like, you're supposed to be prayerful. That is a notion, like, that was something that was in us since we were just kids. And let me tell you guys, no matter how much no matter how much I've been trying to divert away from that, something just normally happens and I just find myself back. Like, I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yeah. Um there is something that our parents used to teach us, and not only our parent, our spiritual fathers, and our guidance, like all those people who we related with in our spiritual life. Um, they normally used to teach us, and they are still teaching us that um, it's good to trust God in each and everything that we are going through, or maybe each and everything that's happening in our life. That um, that's something that we all know as Christians. Like, if you ask any person who maybe they call themselves Christian, that do you know that you're supposed to have faith in God? You're supposed to trust in God. Like, when you're faced with each and every situation, do you know, like, you're supposed to have faith in God, to trust in God, to just believe that something good is going to happen out of this? That's something that you are taught. That's something that I personally knew. I knew it. And I still know it. But let me tell you guys, there is no one who tells you that trusting in God is not something so easy. I don't know how that is coming out from my mouth, but there is no one who ever taught me that. They will just tell you that you should have faith in God, trust in God, and just believe that each and everything is going to work out for good for you. Because you know God has a beautiful plans upon your life. To just be fed with all those things about how much God is able to save you. But there is one thing that I don't think it's normally taught, that it's not easy. We are human beings, and it's good to appreciate the fact that it's not easy. Like, honestly, it's not easy. And when I mean it's not easy, I mean that, especially when you are in your time of diversity, when you are faced with a situation that you feel like, you know, God, I think you should just come right now, right now. I think, God, you should just save me. I think, God, you should just heal this person. I think, God, you should just open this door. At that moment, um, trusting in God is not something that comes so easily at that moment. Trusting in God at that moment when you feel like you're giving up is not so easy. And actually, it's the reason why you feel like you are almost giving up, because you are losing faith in God and you are losing trust in God. Um, over the past few couple of years, there are so many things that have been happening, and I've been trusting God because that's what I was taught. Like, sometimes I don't know if you are this kind of a person who, like, you are just brought up with in a very sound Christian family, to an extent that if right now I just call my mom and tell her, like, you know, there is this thing is just stressing me up, you know, I feel like I don't know what's going to happen. Like, do you know the first thing she will tell you? Like, my mom, the very first thing she will tell you is that let's pray about it, and God is going to make a way. And sometimes as much as that sounds so sweet to the ear, sometimes when it's being tempted, sometimes it's not so easy. Like honestly, it's not so easy. Let no one lie to you that it's not so easy to just have faith. It's not so easy to just trust that like something good is going to come out of something so bad. Like it's not so easy to see that anything good is going to come out of something negative. Like I don't know if you understand me. And there is no one who will ever to teach you that. There will no one who will ever teach you that. They will only tell you that you're going to pray about it and just believe that God is going to do something. And even that part of believing, we know that we are supposed to be believing in God. But what people are not normally taught is that believing in God is not so easy in that low moment. It's not so easy. And that basically taught me the fact that being a Christian is not just being a Christian. Like, I was brought up in a Christian family, and so I'm just a Christian. And so, like, when I have faith, things, mountain will move. Being a Christian, I feel like it's supposed to be, it's like a journey. It's like a journey. And for someone to say that they have faith at that point when everything is not working out, for someone to say that they have faith at that moment, it means that in their journey of spiritual life, they are in a given steps. We can be faced with the same situation. Like maybe you are faced I don't know what example I'm going to tell you, but that we can be faced with the same situation. Me together with my friend, maybe we are faced with maybe financial struggle. That's a common one. We are both faced with that problem, and we are both Christian. And we both believe that God can work miracles, and we both believe that there is God in heaven, and you should trust in Him, you should have faith in Him. We both believe in that because that's something that you have taught at a very tender age. But you will see that one of us, we will like seriously believe that God is going to do something. Like one of us will seriously believe to the fact that even if everything else is not working, even if they don't see a way out, even if they feel like even if there is not any traces of how it's going to happen, one of us will be believing that there is a door is going to be open, like something good is going to come out of this. And the other person will be like, I don't know how God you're going to do this. Like, I think I should just give up. And we're both Christians. We're both Christians brought up from a Christian family. And that's what I mean by saying that Christianity is like a journey. For this person to have that much faith in God means that their spiritual life, they are some steps before the other person. And wow, there is something that have been happening. And that's when I realized that um, having faith in God and trusting in God really require us to have a very good relationship with God, like a very staunch relationship with God. Not just being a Christian, but just having a personal relationship with God, just wanting to know Him more, just wanting to know. There is something that comes with just knowing more of God, just knowing more of God. It makes it is even easier for you to trust someone, like to trust God, because you already have a personal relationship with Him, because you already like know Him. And honestly, it's like I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Sometimes back when something that was just happening and I was like, uh, God, if you just do, it's okay. If you don't do, it's okay. And right now, I'm this type of a person. I'm like, God, I believe that you're going to do this. I believe that they're going to do this. And when I look back, I was like, what is the difference between me now and me then? And I realized that I have walked, or rather I'm still walking, like I'm still trying to get into a personal relationship with God. Because when you trust, even in the normal relationship with people, when you walk with person, when you know a person so much, maybe even if you're a friend, it's easier to trust them because you already know that these are the boundaries that they can't cross. These are the things that maybe they can do when in this situation. The same things happens to relationship with God. We can both be Christians, but we can both not have faith. Like one of us can have faith in God, and the other person is like they only have faith in God, just in words, but in deep down in their heart, it's like they don't have faith in God. And there is something that I have also realized, that everything work for the good for those who trust and wait in the Lord. But the problem is, are we willing to wait? Are we willing to trust? And trust does not just come by just, I think I should just start trusting this guy. It comes out of having personal relationship, wanting to know more about this guy you call Jesus, about this guy you call God. By knowing them more, it makes you trust them. It makes you have faith. It makes you have faith in him. It makes you know that when he says he's going to do something, he's definitely going to do something, because you already have a trust in him, because you already have faith in him. But the very same thing, someone else cannot have faith in him, just because they don't have a personal relationship. Like they really don't know what he can do. Sometimes I used to just sit down and I wonder, like, uh, why do I keep on praying about something that is taking too long to happen? I don't know if you've ever been a Christian whereby you just have been praying about this one thing like for so long, for so long, for so long, for so long, and then you feel it's so much delayed to an extent that you just give up and you just stop praying about it. As for me, I don't want to lie to you guys. There are so many instances whereby I trusted God for something and I started the prayer life like so staunchly. I started the journey like so staunchly, but when I reached at a given point, I just give up and I feel like, God, it's like you're taking so long. It's like God, you even don't want that to happen. But there is something that comes with just not giving up, just trusting that when he says he will do something, he will definitely do it. When he says that he loves us, he favor us, when he says that he will never leave us alone, when he says that we can walk in the valley of the shadows of the death and nothing will happen to us, when he says that 1,000 can fall on side and 10,000 on the other side and nothing will harm us, when he says that no arrows that is formed against us that will prosper, when he says all those kind of things, believing that does not only come from just knowing such kind of things are said, but it comes after understanding, like wanting to know more about God, like having a personal relationship with God. And then after you hear all those things, now it start adding up and they build your faith, they build your trust. Because sometimes especially now when I'm just faced with something that I feel like, you know what, that this is just so beyond me, I normally say that, God, the battle belongs to you. Like honestly, the battle belongs to you. And there is something that I have just, oh hey, when we surrender everything to God, like I even don't know if I'm going to upload this video because I feel like it's like another person who is talking, the person that maybe you YouTuber don't know me in this side of me. When you learn to leave everything in God's hands, Like he will normally work it out for us. He normally work it out for us. Juzi, I was telling my sister that God normally works even when we don't see like He's working. Like God is always working. When we just pray, and we believe that He's going to do something. When we believe that, even if we just see from our bare eyes, we just see like, I really don't know how God is going to work it out. Like I really don't know. Like that should not be a reason for you to stop. Sorry, to stop believing that He's going to do it. That should not be a reason for you to stop believing it. And that's something that I have learned, maybe the hard way, because honestly there have been so many things that I have been praying for years, for ages, and they never happened. And right now, if you ask me why they never happened, I will tell you is because along the way I just gave up. Along the way I just gave up, and there is this notion that normally comes from Christians when they are not so strong in their belief that unaomba kitu, you just pray about something, you just pray about something, and then it delays, and then you just say like, it's like God does not want that to happen. I used to say that countless times. Me at I used to pray like just for some few days, and if that thing that what I wanted it never happens, I just say like, it's like God does not want that to happen, and I just forget about it, and I just learn how to cope without it. But there is something that I have learned, that even when we are not seeing like it, even when our eyes cannot see it, even when our heart cannot feel it, even when the world is showing us something different, God is always working for us. Like God is always working for us. And I know that's something so difficult for, especially when you are in your low moment. That's something that's so difficult for you um, to just accept and just surrender. Just surrender. If you say that, you know what, God, I want this and this and this and this and this, and I know you are powerful, and I know you can do it. Please, can you just do it for me? And prayers, another thing that I learned, that prayers is not, as much as our God is God of wonders, our God is God of miracles, our God, there is something that is also that we should learn as Christians, patience. If there is something that God has really taught me, like the hard way, okay, I'm sorry to say that, but if there is something that I have really learned the hard way, it's being patient. And I think me, I was not born patient. Like me, I'm not patient. I don't want to lie to you guys. Me, I'm not patient. Like God can humble you. Let me just say that. Like God can really humble you. You can just live forever, not like forever. You can just be praying about something like for so long, and I just feel like maybe this thing it's like will never happen. But there is one thing that I don't know why I'm even doing this video, but there is one thing that I want you to guys to know, that even when we don't see like it's happening, like God is always working. Like God is always working. As long as we have this personal relationship with God, as long as we truly believe in Him, we truly have faith in Him, we fully put our trust in Him, we fully we've surrendered all unto Him. Like God is always working. Like God is always working. Even if we don't see like it, like God is always working behind the curtain, behind what we can see, behind what we can feel, behind all people are saying, behind guys. I didn't intend to make a very lengthy video, and also I even don't know why I'm doing this video, but I just felt like I need to encourage someone out there, the person who have been waiting for something for so long, the person who have been praying for so long, and they feel like I think God will never. It's like God does not want to give me this. It's like God. It's like maybe I was not meant for this. It's like God does not hear my prayers. It's like all those kind of negativities that come with God trying to teach us patience. Um, Sometimes it's good to be patient, and as much as we believe that our God is a God who works miracles, who works wonders, it's good also to be patient. good to be patient and just know that each and everything works good for those who trust in Him. And also know that God's plan are so great upon our life, and just know that when He says He will do something, He will definitely do. And ours is just to have faith in God and to just trust in Him and believe in Him. And I know, like I know for sure that believing in God, trusting in God, and having faith in God, as much as those words are saying with kind of lightness, and people just think like they are very easier applications to apply. I know it's not easy. I know it's not, sometimes it's not easy to trust in God. I know sometimes it's not easy to have faith in God. Like, I know sometimes it's not easy to just believe like something's going to happen. And sometimes we just give up along the way. And because of lack of our trust, because of lack of believing and faith, sometimes we just give up. That's the reason why sometimes we just give up. But I want to urge each and every person maybe who will ever come to watch this video, and also me, maybe when I come to watch this video in the future, that it's always good to just wait in God each and every time, even when we feel like it's not working. Because if there is something that I have learned, and I really thank God for making me smile at the end of the day by, oh, I feel emotional. And I don't know why. God has really been working behind the curtain for me. And God has been really working so hard, like so hard. Even when I had already like given up on some things, like God was just there working out for me. Even when I was like, it's okay, let them just let it just be. Let just be. Like God was just working out. Even when I had already given up, like God did not give up on me. And I feel so much maybe carried away to the fact that I have learned the fact that trusting and having faith in God is not something that is in vain. Because maybe one day of this fine day, maybe I'll come and make a video and tell you guys of what have been really happening behind everything, and how God has been working out for me, and how many things that He has helped me maybe to overcome. And like I feel like I maybe one day I should do that, but for now, just allow me to say that to tell you that it's not your time to give up. Like, honestly, it's not your time to give up. It's your time to increase your faith. It's your time to increase your trust in God. It's your time to just wait in God so much. It's time to have a personal relationship with God. Don't just say that, I believe God will do that, and you even don't know who God is. Like, you even don't know what God can do. Like, just try as much as you can to have a personal relationship with God, just to have a fellowship with God, so that you can improve your relationship with God. So that when you say that, I know God will do it, you will have like affirmation in you that definitely God will do it. Because that's something that I don't want to lie to you guys. As much as I was raised and brought up in a very sound Christian family, at personal level, I didn't have that. Honestly, I didn't have that. And many of the things and many of the occasions that I used to have, maybe something that I feel like, what, I think I should just involve people to be praying for me. I used to normally just call my parents and just tell them that, you know what, mommy, just pray for me. This and this is happening to me. Just pray for me. And I'm not praying, like myself, I'm not praying, but I just leave the burden to my parents. I don't know if there is someone out there who was like me. Not like I didn't try praying, but I just pray. But along the way, I just give up and I just leave them to be praying for me. And it's my issue, but I'm not praying about it. Um, I don't know why I felt compelled to do this video and to just let you know that no matter what you're really going through, no matter the sickness, no matter the struggle, no matter the like any kind of issue that you're going through, no matter what you have been trusting God for, no matter how long it have taken maybe for you to get that, just learn how to be patient and just learn to have a personal relationship with God, so that you can increase your faith, you can increase your trust, you can increase your belief, so that when you say that I believe God will do that, like you definitely from deep down from deep down in your heart, you know, like definitely he's going to do that. Because I remember there were so many things that were said to me. You know, when something negative is said about you, um, I'm sorry to say, it's normally so hard to forget. And you see, a good friend of mine asked me if I believe in forgiveness and forgetting. And I think that's something that I'm still learning. Honestly, I don't want to lie to you guys, because some people can say some very hurtful words, and to an extent that they stick in you so much. Like they really stick in you so much. And I don't know why it's like I'm diverting from what I was telling you guys. But what was I saying? Um, it's good to trust in God. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what people are saying, because if there is someone who people have said some weird thing, some crazy thing, I think I am one of them. But God has been faithful. Honestly, God has been faithful. And sometimes I just look back and I just praise God and say that even God, when I was not seeing, like you are working, imagine you are working, and I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you, God, to you. Because even when I had already given up, like you are still working out for me. Even when like I was in our, like had gone away and I was like, I even don't want to hear about you, because God, you have already let me down in this. You already let me down in this. You already, so it's like I don't want to hear anything about you, because why did you not come to save me at this point? Why did you, like God was always there watching over me. Like imagine, like God has been so faithful. Even when like I could not like even want to be associated with God. Because guys, I don't want to lie to you guys. There was a time that I was so very low, like to an extent that there was a time I spent like quite a number of years without even attending any church. Like basically, I would use not to attend any church. And even when I go home to my parents' place, I don't know if they really noticed, but I didn't want to go to any church. Like honestly, I didn't want to go to any church. I was just going at home, and then when my parents want they are going to church, I would just come up with an excuse, or maybe I would decide that I'm going to travel on that day, or maybe travel the previous day, just to avoid going to church. And it's not like I'm regretting, because maybe it was something that I'm taking it as a lesson, um, and trying to work out for the better of the future, because I've already realized my mistake and blah 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 thing. So guys, I don't know what you're going through. Honestly, I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know how for how long you have been going through that, and I don't know what's that one prayer that one day you prayed to God, and back then when you are praying, like you truly believed that God was going to do that. And I honestly don't know how much you trust your God. There was a time that we were in a kind of congregation, a fellowship, and the leader asked us and asked like, what do you really think God is capable of doing? What do you really think God is capable of doing? And each and every one of us who were like, God is able to do everything. Like God is able to do everything. Like it was so easier to say that. It was so easier to say that. But when you are left alone, and then you just count down many things that you feel like God did not do this, God did not do this, God did not do this. And yet back in your mind, you know that God is capable of doing everything. I know it can be scary sometimes, but at that moment, we should try as much as we can. If it means like reading Bible, if it means like talking with people who are our spiritual guidance, so that we can try as much as we can to increase our faith in God. Because if there is really the last thing that you don't want to lose, like if there is really the last thing that you don't want to lose, it's having faith in God. Like that's the last thing that you really should lose. And the funniest bit is that most of the Christians, that they basically think that they don't have. And I was one of them. And I don't want to say that I am like I am this like very so much converted person, but I'm still learning. And I have learned that for someone to trust anything, like you should be having a very background check about that thing. You should have having like a very good knowledge about that thing. And the same thing applies to God. If you really want to trust in God, to have faith in God, like you should know him. You should know him, and you should try each and everything that you should to just know about God. So read your Bible as crazy as you can. Go to that fellowship as much as you can. Like do literally everything that makes you increase your faith in God, because that's something that you really need. And when you have it, that's when you will understand the fact that even if it is delayed, it will still happen. And even if it will never happen, like God has a good plans for you. Even if maybe it fails, just know that everything works for good for those who trust in God. And guys, I'm not planning to be a preacher anytime soon, but anyway, I just felt compelled to share about that, because there is something that I have been really trusting in God for a while now, and I have a strong faith in God that right now it's when I am realizing that being delayed does not mean that you have been denied, and it will basically happen. Maybe it's not how I expect it to happen, but it will basically happen in God's way, and God's time is always the right time. Maybe you want something right now, but that's not God's right time. So just wait, be patient, trust in God, have faith in God, and always trust. Try as much as you can to have a personal relationship with God and to know more about Him. And in my YouTube channel, like we just share anything, we just share anything and everything. So when you see me today, I'm this spiritual person, and tomorrow I come up with the story. The next day I come with the stories Ajaba. The next day I come with the story of my life. Like just expect anything. Like I have not specialized in anything, because it's my YouTube channel and that's how I want it to be. So guys, it's at night. Obviously, it's a very late night, and tomorrow is on Monday. No, tomorrow is on. Oh my goodness, like my head is not working out. Hmm? Tomorrow is on Thursday, and I have plans of waking up very early in the morning. So guys, thank you for watching until the end. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and please continue waiting in God, because God's time is always the right time. And no matter how much it have taken you, just know that everything works for good for those who trust in God. So don't give up right now. Try to have a personal relationship with God. Try to increase your faith in God, and always try to, as much as you can, to trust in God. And one of these fine day, you're gonna have a testimony of how much God has done for you.